Okay. Hello, guys, and welcome to the first official stream of ASTRA ARCANUM.
Hello.
Uh, we are Sarp and Doa from the Metis creative team, and we're gonna be answering your questions in this one. So, welcome, Sarp. How are you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, pretty excited. Astra is, I have to say, kicking ass on the Kickstarter. Thank you all so much for all the love and support. This is going to be a really, really good one. How are you doing, Doa?
I'm pretty good, pretty slammed with work, as you know, and we are trying to do our best in the weekends as well. So, first of all, guys, it's neither Sarp's or nor mine mother tongue. So if there's any problems with the English grammar, speaking, or anything, please, I mean, give us some slack because it's our second language. Uh, don't worry, that's not the case for our writers, and we are gonna try to do our best with this one. So we have a couple of questions and a couple of I don't know, talking points to go through in terms of how the game is played, general questions about lore and everything. So we are going to be starting with those ones. As we are going through it, please feel free to drop a comment in the comment section so we can go through them all as well. And you it's always welcome to like talk about general stuff or like expand on stuff as well, so let us know throughout the stream.
Just to give the stream a bit structure, when we are not answering your questions, we'll be digging through the quick start, talking about what we have created so far and what we intend to do. So this is going to be a general, thought flow from us on how we want to design Astra Arcanum, the future of Astra Arcanum, and such. Before we get to that, I think there are a couple of people who haven't heard from us before, because right now we're essentially expanding our community with a new branding RPG. So it could be good to introduce ourselves. Hello everyone, I am Sarp. I am the producer at Metis Creative. I dabble a bit in the game design process and handle all the boring stuff. And we have Doa here. Doa.
I'm the creative director of the team. I usually do the fun stuff, as we like to refer, which is usually like I'm pretty busy with the, I don't know, world building and like game as a whole stuff instead of Sarp's boring numbers.
Yeah, I pulled the short straw.
Yeah, but we are always in each other's work all the time, so the frames are really loose.
Also, feel
Alright.
free to just a bit of
Yeah,
housekeeping. Feel free to just let us know if we have any problems with our voices and whatnot. And I think we can get started. I already see a couple of people that I recognize from our Discord channel. Hello everyone. Hello Atropamin. Hello Mr. Mind. Hello to Ductal Cancelina. I don't know who you are, but hello to you also.
that's very
Hello
impressive.
Orboard.
You know,
Yeah.
to the ones. That's very good.
All right. All right. Let's get
Alright,
started.
so we have a couple of questions to go through. So the first question that I would like to talk about, and as we talk about the questions, you can, I guess, go over Quickstart PDF as well. So like we can go to related section and like give some examples and stuff. That would be helpful for people, I guess.
Oh, we also have
Uh,
like two really cool questions that came in the chat.
right, let's
We,
start with
we,
those then.
okay, let's start with those. Bound Urbanovitz asked, "Will any of us who backed be able to playtest?" Hell yeah! We
Yeah,
will be
definitely.
releasing we will be constantly releasing playtest materials, probably like 2-3 months after the campaign ends, with like the very bare bones rule sets and then advanced classes and whatnot. So we will essentially want to turn this into like a community playtesting session where we will try to gather as much feedback from you guys as possible and turn this into like a collaborative effort. So yes, all the backers will have a chance to get into the playtest groups.
Yeah, and like we would really like to like concentrate on a couple of those specifically and like get feedbacks from them in a structured way. So our Discord will be very helpful throughout the process, I guess.
And the second thing, which is a very huge question, is from Jacob Rosenberg: what is to be the general tone of the setting? humanity boldly stepping into the unknown and competitive seeking therein, or scubbling over the scraps of what is left? This is a question to you, Doa.
Yeah, that's a big question. Before we get to that, I guess your volume is unusually low because Sarp is very famous for yelling all the time.
All right, I'll try to get closer to the microphone.
All right, so the question starts with what is the general tone of the setting? Humanity boldly stepping into the unknown and competitively seeking therein, or scubbling over the scraps of what is left. Okay, so the general tone is usually where you are gonna come across mostly two newly built civilizations in a way, in the solar reach. So think about it this way: what if we go to space from, I don't know, like let's say 100 or 200 years from now on? So you can imagine today's technology will be in play, but in a very enhanced way. And then, but our immigration was forced. So that's what we are looking at. So we are gonna carry over what we have in here, but in a very limited way, and we are gonna try to survive in a place that's not built for us. I guess that's the quickest way to summarize the general premise. But if you are asking more about tone, the tone is usually somber. That's what we did in Historic Arcanum as well. It's gonna be the case in Astra Arcanum as well because that's what I can creatively direct, I guess. Uh, so the tone is mostly gonna be about like in a somber, depressing way, but at the same time we are gonna have the conflicts and the problems and um let's put it like the chaos of building something from ground up. So humanity is gonna try to build their way to a new home, but they are constantly test get test with the surroundings and other factions and other problems of developing a new civilization while looking at their failure, which is called the Earth.
Yeah, and this
I
is
guess
sort
that's
of
a
like a
pretty
post-apocalyptic
easy way
setting.
to summarize. What do you say, Sarp?
Sorry for that.
Okay, we cannot hear
No, no,
you.
you should be here. You should be able to hear me right now. Sorry, I just
Okay, yeah,
switched
yeah,
microphones
yeah.
to be.
Right.
Also, let me know if my voice is and sound is wonky or too loud this time. Just had to do a quick microphone switch.
All
Yeah,
right. Did I miss anything? What do you say?
this is a post-apocalyptic scenario where humanity had to be exiled from Earth, and
Hmm.
they are trying to rebuild, and have debates whether to try to take back Earth or try to make the solar reach their home. So this is going to be a very somber setting, as you said. There are a couple of hopes for the future of humanity. So this is not like the grim darkness of the far future like the 40K. But this is also definitely not like Star Trek, where there are resources
Yeah,
in
the grim
abundance.
darkness comes from the, I don't know, like the how effed up the situation is.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, absolutely. Also, Alexander Downey said, I still maintain it's an optimistic story overall since it says we will only need to leave the Earth 200 years from now. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like if we knew it beforehand, maybe, but that's not gonna be the case, I guess.
All right.
So again, we are walking on very thin ice with I don't know if we are spoiling anything for anyone, but I guess these are like the general things, so we should be a bit freer than what we usually do with this circle.
Also, Mr. Mind asked, for handling the other atmospheres, is oxygen going to be in tanks still, or is it going to be another method to rebreathe? Oxygen
Okay,
tanks, yeah,
yeah,
but a lot of terraforming that has already been done. So,
yeah. So we are thinking about, of course, these are very loose estimations at this point, but like we are thinking about 60% urban, 40% exploration sort of thing. So like the urban, the ones that are referred as urban are usually like places that you can breathe without a mask, but terraformed in some way somehow. But 40% of the adventures that we are planning to write at this point is usually like it's gonna be exploring someplace else. So you're gonna be needing those.
yep. And with that, we can also start moving to the questions from Kickstarter comments on our Discord.
All right, so I'll go first. Is Astra Arcanum being worked on alongside next to Historic Arcanum, or is it taking the place of the next historical setting book with the next thing on Metis project lineup?
Uh, Historic Arcanum is in the works. Some of you guys already know what the next one is going to be. Historic Arcanum Salem. Obviously, this is just like the placeholder name for now. It is being worked on. You will be hearing more about it pretty soon. But with with a couple of really successful campaigns under our belt, we expanded our team. So we are essentially doing two projects, uh, two for now, at the same time. So you'll be hearing more about the upcoming Historic Arcanum very, very soon.
Right. So I guess we still have like a bit of a sound problem. Everybody's saying it's a bit low.
Yeah, I increase it a bit now.
All right. All right.
It should be
Let us
fine.
know
Let
if.
us know if the sound is still
All
too
right.
low.
Another question: is Metis open to third-party content in Astra Arcanum world? Easy answer is yes. The bigger answer is this, hell yes, I guess. Uh,
Yes.
not only we are open to it, we are all for it, and we'll do our best to support it as well in terms of like getting the word out, giving direction if needed and stuff. So we would love to see that happening. That's one of our goals when we set like Astricom Universe. So that is something that we are dreaming of, and we would be very honored if
On
any
top
third-party creators come up.
on top of that, we will also be preparing a open game license with the legal implications and whatnot. That's going to take a bit of time. But once that is done, you will be able to essentially create your content in the rule set of Astra Arcanum, free of any of our interference. That being said, we would be also more than happy to help you create content for the world of Astra Arcanum that we can support. And we already have a couple of people who reached out to us saying that they will be very interested in creating content based on Astra Arcanum and based on Astra Arcanum rule set.
Hmm. Let's go with another question. So it's gonna be about the magic system. Please tell us more about the magic system and the source of magic. All right, so magic system and the source of magic is like it's gonna be close to historic arcanum in a way, because the magic is hidden, it's dangerous, it's not very like easy to deal with and stuff. But like we are gonna go to a more devastating way in the astro arcanum universe. So um, what we usually refer to it in the office is like it's pretty much like it's pretty gonna be like Call of Cthulhu magic, which is devastating. There is no fire bolts in Call of Cthulhu magic. It's either evaporate that guy's skull or nothing, sort of thing. So we have a different way of casting spells, which is gonna be like overcast, or like it's gonna be non-existent at all. Sarp can tell you guys a bit better about what we planned in terms of like structure, but in like a more lore and power wise, that is something we are working on right now. But the intention is to be not very like making it a bit devastating and dangerous, high risk, high reward sort of thing, instead of I'm like hitting you with small sparks sort of thing. So like
Yeah.
it's gonna be a bit uh, dangerous, but at the same time rewarding.
Yeah. In terms of game design, first up, if anybody here doesn't know it, the Astra Arcanum universe and Historic Arcanum universe are connected. They take place in the same overall setting. So just as we had Spell Rebound with Historic Arcanum, we will have magic that is, reality taking revenge for breaking its rules kind of thing with Astra Arcanum also. So, sorry for all that scrolling a couple of minutes ago. You haven't seen it, but like I did it on the stream. I tried to open up our first spell draft called Mind Fracture. While we do that, I just wanted to show you guys how it works in terms of actual gameplay mechanics on top of the lore stuff. So when you cast a spell, obviously you spend a bit of AP, your action points, and you roll dice equal to the amount of action points you spent. You have the tags, who you're targeting, what school of magic it is, what kind of requirement does it have for you to use it. Components are pretty similar from Dungeons and Dragons, just to keep it very understandable for people who are who already know how to play D&D. Loot table is something that we want to add to all items, all bestiary entries, and all spells, where you can find the said item. And these loot tables will be everywhere, will be available in the players the core book as like huge rollable tables, so you have easy way of generating loot and content. Uh, and the most important part of the spells are again the trio of rates of success. For Mind Fracture, any dice you roll under 12, obviously after you add your modifiers, is a spell rebound. You get these directly on the caster. So if you roll a spell rebound, the caster will get 3 minor wounds, 1 neural wound, and they will be suppressed. Anything that is a 13 plus gives you 1 success, and you essentially collect all the successes and then try to get the effect of your choosing. And anything over 21 is an overcast, so you essentially get tons of success for this specific one too, but then you also make life miserable for you and people around you because
Yeah,
that
you're not
spell.
gonna be the same after that.
Yeah, exactly. Great job channeling great job channeling all that magical energy. And when you essentially do that, you will be getting you will be essentially adding all your success points. If you get 2 successes, the target gets 5 minor wounds and 2 normal wounds, and they get 1 disadvantage. If you get over 4 successes, everyone in that grid, there can be multiple people in a grid, gets tons of different damages. Also, do multiple success ones count as an overcast? No. And you specifically look at all the dice. So, uh, if you get 2 successful casts, great. You get 2 successes and you essentially manage to channel the spell in the most perfect way possible. Whereas if you had an overcast, that's that's that. Also, on a more game design, on a designer's note, I want to create archetypes for the Scion, the spellcaster class, that forego their regular modifiers. Let's say that I have an arcane modifier of +6. That is a mage that really wants to hit overcasts rather than just settling for successful casts. That could be the sorcerer if you're going with the Dungeons and Dragons analogy. And we can have more wizard types who are very careful in their casting that forego of their modifiers. Instead of having +6 to your arcane rolls, you would have 2 spell craft rolls where you can essentially move spell rebound dice to the successful zone or overcast to the successful zone. Do overcast and spell rebound balance each other out? No, they don't. If you roll 3 dice, you live with the consequences. That's it. The overall game design of Astra Arcanum is very deadly, and in the world there are usually mages with actual, rifles and pistols and actual guns who use magic as their last resort, because if something goes bad, it will go bad not just for you but everyone around you. So yes, all of it happens. All the spells happens. While we are on this, yeah, even Mind Fracture can be very deadly right away. There will be there will be a lot of mage specific items that will allow you to mitigate most of the harmful effects of a spell rebound or an overcast. But even those items can be, can broken down, can wear down, and you may not have the opportunity to replace it directly during combat. Items always start to mitigate the damage of spells. Right now, if any of those spells, if any damage goes through, you only have your armor to mitigate it, and most armor does not mitigate the neural wound, like the wounds to your psyche. But mages specifically will have access to items that does take away the tons of neural wound. Again, a bit like Psychers in 40k. That's right, Atrapaman. Just to answer a couple more previous questions in the chat. Will this be set on another planet, or will there be ships traveling space to different planets? Great question. Let's see if I can actually find find a section that does have some visual flair to it before answering to that question. I think I can't, not in the short while, so I'll just answer it with this armature art inside. So this entire setting is set in the solar system, except Earth, because Earth is gone. Earth is cursed, and we had to move away from Earth. So we will have this massive megacity on a terraformed portion of Mars called Samostan. But this city's this city's influence only goes so far. There are a lot of locations that are essentially fractured locations away from this mega citadel on the surface of Mars, in the moons, especially in Titan, where there are a lot of water merchants who go between hubs of population, selling the molten ice of Titan and Europa, and there will be a lot of in points of interest throughout the solar system of previous human settlements, some obviously derelict research labs, lost spaceships, and all that jazz. So this is going to be a pretty massive set of this is going to be a pretty massive setting featuring almost all corners of the solar system, with a lot of secrets to explore essentially. And just also to answer Gav's question, will there be a quick start scenario to try the game before buying the book or any kind of campaign? Yes. Right now we are working on creating 3, and with the possible stretch goal that's 300k. We are going to be having 4 zine level adventures, so around like 50-60 pages of content. The first one of those will be publicly made available on our website, free of charge. So you will have a taster for the setting of Astra Arcanum, the gameplay of Astra Arcanum, and our intention is to make that into the perfect introductory adventure with tons of starting out rules. First you learn how to use your skills, then you learn how the combat works, then you obviously get a deeper grip into the setting and whatnot.
So let's continue with another question then.
Yes.
There it's a question. Okay, I can't see the source then. All right. So here it goes. I'm a filthy power gamer and absolutely love giving my players lots of options and gear. Will Astra have suggestions or space in the book dedicated to perhaps changing the style of for play for different groups, or maintaining the setting while changing lethality or different mechanics? I'm not opposed to anything I've seen so far. I just love when designers include stuff like this, basically. Okay. For changing the feel with different tables. Okay, so this is an interesting question. Essentially, yes. The quick question is quick answer to that is yes, because that's our like design. That's very parallel with our design philosophy. But giving like a very dedicated section to that is something I don't know. Like it might be very user friendly, but the composition of the book is something different. So you can find snippets of that throughout, because there's gonna be a lot of tables to everything, like in terms of gear and giving players options. That's definitely gonna be in the book everywhere, but giving a dedicated different group types adjustments is I don't know, like it's not something that we discussed yet.
That being said, in terms of game design, what I can say is Astra Arcanum will feel quite different to Dungeons and Dragons in the sense that in Dungeons and Dragons, level 1 to level 20 feels wildly different. While on level 1 you
Yeah,
are barely able to grab a sword and kill a couple of goblins. By level 20, especially with some classes, you feel like you're essentially manipulating
yeah,
parts
you
of
are
the
basically a god
parts
at
of
that point.
yeah, exactly.
Like
Uh,
as a human civilization on Earth right now, we wouldn't survive three level 15 mages.
Exactly. Astra is wildly different than that. Like, when you're an armiger, and most parties will be an armiger cell taking and handling contracts, you can be very adept at disposing targets. But even low-level targets that scored one or two lucky shots will compromise out of the mission. This means
Mhm.
that if you want to give your players an easy way into the world of Astra Arcanum, easy way into Astra Arcanum rule set, you can easily try to target them with bands of low-level threats because it will feel different than, I mean, on Dungeons and Dragons I can't target my party with 10 one quarters CR goblins because it will be very boring. Whereas in Astra Arcanum, even like a couple of threat level alpha, like level 1 scavengers,
Mhm.
uh, will feel quite deadly if they happen to roll a couple of lucky crits. So prevalence of
Mhm.
healing items and a vitalist, the medic class, will be very important. Prevalence of people who can mend armor, most likely the synth class, will be very important. So you will have a best theory that you will be able to tweak the difficulty of your game with.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And like also, I guess this is a pretty good time to talk about like what drive us here. What was our like intention when we started designing this? Everything in Astra Arcanum is basically tied to being human in a way.
Yeah,
It's the same with the lore and setting and the premise and the conflict and the game. It's the same in game design as well. So, for example, let's give a quick example. So, the first idea that I uh, come up with and like talk to Sarp about it is basically, I think health pools are dumb in a way, because if I start hitting Sarp with a spoon after like 2 or 3 years, I wouldn't be able to kill Sarp as I mean, it wouldn't make sense, right? You can't take like give like deal quick damages, like small damages to someone and expect him to die. So basically, how a human works is you gotta disable one of its systems, so the human dies,
yeah,
and these systems are pretty close to damage, pretty easy damage. So that was the first idea, because you never die from something like getting hit by something repeatedly. You always die because some system in your body shuts down and like you eventually die. So that's the idea. And but at the same time, in the lore sense of the things, like the game also represents being human in a way that is kind of specific to humans, because what you will experience throughout Astro Arcanum is basically you're gonna be dying here and there. You're gonna be dying pretty easily with like the hand that dealt to your hand. So basically, what you will experience throughout the game is uh, your your ability to survive in Astro Arcanum is mostly depend on your gear. So as much as you would like to I don't know, go on adventures for years and years, it's gonna be according to your gear, it's gonna be according to your abilities and stuff. But when you start getting damaged in one of the systems that you're in the screen, you are gonna die. So that's the point that we are trying to make with Astra Arcanum's wound system, basically.
Yeah, and also the cybernetics do really complement the wound system. For
Hmm.
instance, you'll probably see a couple of, like let's say, musculoskeletal system left arm, right? You have crippled 1, crippled 2, broken, and torn out, but then you have two more slots available there. If you essentially put down the cash, you can grab a pretty nifty arm cybernetic to replace your torn out arm that has 6 wounds in total rather than the humanly 4. So and
That's a
obviously you
huge
have
trade-off.
your armor that should keep you away from immediate danger and once again, this is not Dungeons and Dragons where you would go out slaying tons of world-ending threats with the touch of your sword. You are a human who's trying to survive a solar system that is out to get you, and this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the vibe that we really wanted to have. The new Cybernetic arm has armor too. They have more wound counts. That's the idea. If you buy the, if you buy the, like the brand new shiny one directly from Samaston.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
one question from Mr. Mind is there any idea what the peak level scale will be so far? I'm going to show the,
It's a bit tricky.
yeah, it's not finalized yet. This I really need to sit down and do the math on this, but I'm going to show you something that we really love, the constellation. This will be available to be printed at the back of a character sheet essentially.
Mhm.
This is obviously just a work in progress constellation, but the idea is that there will be arms of that constellation that go down
Yeah, this is pretty bare bones.
yeah,
This is the least complex version of you will see like in a top level.
but the general idea is there will be arms of this constellation. You start from the center that you can build towards certain play types. Like
Mhm.
if you want melee, there is going to be a melee arm. If you want
Yeah.
range, there's going to be a ranged arm. Skill junkie, another arm for that. And there will be two very specific arms that are in the farthest corners from the starting point and from each other. The one is here we have the multi-class node at the top of it, which does allow you to, well, as you guessed, multi-class, starting
Mhm.
again from the center, picking up the core abilities of another class. And the second type is the second archetype. So you can essentially have two subclasses if you really want to be very good at one very specific
Yeah,
class.
yeah.
And
And
and the idea is when you're done with your build, you will be able to essentially finish up just one and maybe two arms of this constellation.
mhm.
So that's the top level that we're thinking of. Mathematically, that will be somewhere around like level 15, level 20 something.
Mhm.
But like once we essentially have the final numbers, we will be able to tell you what the
That's a whole other story.
yeah, what the top level will be. But just as we said, this won't be like Dungeons and Dragons where when you get to level 20, uh, you will feel like a god. No, when you get to level 20, you will feel like a fucking killing machine, but you won't be a
Yeah, yeah.
god.
You'll feel like Adam Smasher. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I love how much love the constellation leveling up gets done by visual thinkers for visual thinkers.
yes.
I love you guys too.
yeah.
All right. So there is quite a bit of questions that I would like to go through. So is the exact reason why people are exiled from Earth explained? Yeah, that's like the whole premise of the setting. It's gonna be the whole premise of the setting. At least like the big question in the setting. Our intention is to move the plot with every big release. If you get what I mean. So we are gonna start somewhere in this book, like in the core book and stuff. We are gonna give you the whole idea of what's going on right now. But like it's something we are discussing at the office as well. Like with I'm gonna try to be fully transparent. the idea of what we are doing right now is, I know all of our fans are, I don't know how to put it, like I know everybody is pretty talented with their like homebrew settings, and like they are doing an amazing job with their own tables. So we are gonna give like a we are gonna give like a very big and like populated setting for you guys to write your own plots and stuff. But I think as like the creators of the IP, our job is to move the plot in a way that you guys are not you guys will probably want with your own homebrews, because you like most of the people that I know who run games in I don't know, let's say Forgotten Realms, they don't change Forgotten Realms for like in a way that it's not gonna be playable anymore, if you get what I mean. So our idea with the big releases are gonna be, we are gonna move the plot in like a very structural way in every big release. So the plot is gonna be changing and developing throughout the like what we are playing right now is like once a year at least. So the plot is gonna be moving every year in a way that will change the whole setting.
Yeah.
So that's what we plan to do, at least at this point. So essentially, if we go back to your question, Carl, the why we exile from the Earth is gonna be explained thoroughly, and how we gonna get back, or will we ever get back, or is there even hope? Will be the questions that you're gonna ask next.
Yeah. And we plan to push like this will be an IP that will have a plot that will progress as we create new entries to the series, new adventure zines, new campaigns, new core books, new bestiary entries and whatnot. So we want this to be like a living, breathing RPG space where you can uh, carve a piece of yourself that you will feel very connected to.
Right, and like at the same time, like I would al- also love to play in a setting like that, because, for example, let's go with Forgotten Realms as well. It's a huge setting. It's an amazing setting, but it feels a bit static to me. I don't know
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you feel the same. There is like from like a script writer standpoint, I feel like if you put all of those big actors in the same realm, in not, the realm is definitely not they're all in at the same time, but um, if you put all of those big actors in the same universe, it's impossible for them to be that static
Yeah,
at
exactly,
the same time.
exactly, exactly.
So I think that's gonna be something that we are not gonna be doing. We are gonna give like we are gonna put them all in the same room, and like when we go to the next release, only one of them is gonna be coming out of the door.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, Alexandre Donny asked, given Historic Arcanum and Master Arcanum are in the same continuum, will we get the HA Historic Arcanum lore like Algape still existing, or humanoid races stemming from magical communities, etc.? Yes, yes. This is still
Yes,
the same
but like
universe.
it's also a bit tricky as well. Yeah, of course, they're in the same universe. I don't know if you guys catch how I'm stressed with lore stuff and Sarp's not. So, jokes aside, of course, but at the same time, we should be answering a couple of those questions in a way that mm, explaining the both universes will make sense.
Yes.
So um, all of them should tie up to something that would explain both, and like with being wrong and right at the same time. Like I don't know, because at this like when you think about it, the magic system and the magic's presence gonna be a bit different in Astra Arcanum. But as you said, they're in the same continuum, so they're gonna be there's gonna be explanations to Algaib and expanding on those concepts maybe.
Yes. We have a couple of questions regarding VTTs and the campaign app. Uh, The idea is on any VTT that we partner with, currently looking to be Foundry and Alchemy, more hopefully will follow. We want to make the basic system, the quote unquote SRD, free. That's the way we want to go. And
Mhm.
Ban Urbanovitz as said, we hope that the project hits 500k to reach the campaign app stretch goal. Yes, we would love to have a campaign app. We are essentially salivating over how good the mothership campaign app is, and hopefully we can create something like that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Really depending on how much the community wants it, but we have already started semi progressing talks with a couple of developers for the campaign app. Hopefully, we'll manage to have it with this release.
Right, right.
We also have another
Uh,
question from Overboard. If I heard you right, it's the same universe as your previous Metro you've made. Do we need any of that to get the whole picture?
no, 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 definitely not. The idea is, even though like they're in the same continuum, there are gonna be different titles in a way that's playable. Like when you can treat them as a standalone products,
Yes, absolutely.
uh, and because it would also be a bit foolish to expect, I don't know, a sci-fi enjoyer to pick up a like historical fantasy book and enjoy it. I hope they do, but like they are definitely standalone products.
Yes. More stuff. More questions.
All right, so we have a very specific question. Are the rules in the core set on faction alignment changes and how factions view and respond to player character actions and decisions? And he gives an example similar to Shadowrun Corporation factions system, for example. Okay, so definitely yes, because all the armigers that's generally what the people are going to be playing as. All the armigers are tied to a faction. So, in order to get like a job, in order to get a contract, you need to be stationed to an armiger band. So the factions are going to be such a huge part of the game, and at the same time all of the armature bands are going to represent something else. I don't want to give like too many spoilers at this point, but um we are designing those armature bands to represent and like expand on some concepts. For example, like what we are looking at right now is one of them can be very, I don't know, like in a general sense, very stealthy, sneaky, like strike them from the shadows sort of faction, and the other one can be very royal and very I don't know, like very
Honor bound.
honor bound. So like you can come from either one of those, and your skills are gonna be different. Your like in a general sense, your equipment maybe can be different, and at the same time. People gonna perceive you as, for example, if you come from the stealthy, sneaky sort of armature band, you are maybe treated as a bit I don't know, like the people perceive you as like a coward. I don't know. So those are gonna be like a huge part of the setting.
I think you missed the biggest example. There will be a lot of factions who hate spellcasters,
Oh yeah,
whereas
obviously.
yeah, whereas there will be factions who view spellcasting as a way of uh, enhancing humanity and potentially taking back Earth. So if you're a Scion, there will be factions who will shower you with contracts that are even less dangerous than what you would get if you were someone else. Whereas there will be factions who will just give you a kill on sight order if you have anything to do with Al Gaib and spellcasting.
Yeah, and there are contract breaking armature bands,
Yeah.
gonna be referred to as, we didn't agree on the name, but
Currently
Black
Black
Mouse, you
Bonds.
said?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the working title is Black Mouse. So like those are gonna be in play a lot. So like those gonna be like one of the main pillars of creating conflict in the setting.
We have a huge question, and this was answered. This was asked a couple of times earlier also. Miniatures. Overboard asks, "I'm a big miniature RPG game master. Dude, great. You have no idea how big our gray pile of shame is. I'm currently printing traveler ships for my campaign. Have you any thought
Wow.
working with someone to make STLs for 3D printer guys? Yes, absolutely. The idea is that we want to create a specific campaign for ASTRA ARCANUM miniatures. We're already working on it. We already have a 3D designer who worked on a lot of miniatures previously, and he's a designer in-house. But we want to expand on that and create a massive STL and already like not printed but like produced miniatures also for everyone that's interested in Astra Arcanum, the aesthetic, and ideally, if you do something like that, you may even be used as a proxy on your 40k games or like Lancer games and whatnot.
Hmm. So there is a question that I love. Here it goes. Is it only combat based, or can players create and play as non violent characters? For example, a techno spiritual or social political manipulation based on purely conflict evasion based characters. So there is a class called specialist at the moment
Yes,
in the
yes.
quick start PDF that is only about that, which had like a very I don't know, violent discussions in the writers' room, but it turned out victorious. So the idea is you're a charisma-based character, and charisma-based character, like charisma, is the only non-combat related stat in the game right now. But specialists gets to like play in very different ways. For example, right now, one of the ideas that we have as a subclass is for example, we're like playing as a pilot, but the other one is basically like a fixer
Yeah,
in Cyberpunk. So you're gonna be the one who makes the deals, who finds the contracts, and maybe you have a trusty revolver in your back pocket, but at the same time, your main like the working title is Silver Tongue right now as the
yeah.
subclass. So you're gonna be basically talking your way out of situations and maybe buffing your team at the combat, but that's all you can do. So that's the idea for the specialist.
In a like a ludonarrative sense where death is very prevalent in in a setting like Astra Arcanum, people who can talk their way out is very valuable. Let's say that you are facing off against
Yeah,
an
and it's
army.
obvious, right? At the same time, like it's such a lethal setting. Like
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
gonna be needing those characters in order to talk your way out before you go into the combat.
yeah.
And if the enemy rolls out, oh, there goes your I don't know, right leg, I guess.
Exactly, exactly. Banner Ivanovitz missed the question. Aside from the for the campaign app, will there be a platform for digital character sheets for stat tracking similar to Dungeons and Dragons Beyond? Uh, Ideally, once again, yes. We already did like a very pretty basic character sheet builder, still at like pre-alpha stage on Alchemy. The idea is we would have that on Foundry as fast as possible. But something that is a web app, just like the D&D Beyond, will only be possible with a companion app slash web app, simply because we want the feeling to be as intuitive as possible. And like so far, our our biggest examples are the Mothership companion app and the Lancer companion app. Like those are all available as just like websites that you can log in with your email and easily create a character. If we can get something like that out, we will. That's something that we're very much looking forward to.
Right.
Oh yeah, also fillable PDFs. Yes, I mean the fillable PDFs will just be there day zero.
Mhm.
Obviously, all the character sheets and whatnot that you see on the quick start PDF, they not just the character sheets, but also like the bestiary entries, weapon entries, spell cards, items, whatnot. All of those will be available as fillable and printable PDFs so that you can essentially create your own stuff on the fly easily.
All right. So Dan French asks, recommend the amount of players at the table or VTT. Sorry if the question is already answered. So no, we didn't answer it yet. But it's the same conventional numbers as you can imagine.
Yeah, yeah.
3 and 4 would be ideal. Five is okay. Six is a bit much, I guess. Two is doable.
Yeah.
So these are like the common sense answers are already there. But if you ask like what's the balancing is going to be like, we are probably going to balance it as 3 or 4 players for a party.
Absolutely. One important thing is the feel of the combat. Since that everybody has a strict amount of action points that they can use in their turn in combat, and also remember that all the reactions also cost AP. So when you're playing your turn, you try to have some spare AP in case you need to dodge an attack or counter fire and whatnot. Even that being said, I think the more people, the more party members that you put into the game, the more sluggish the combat will feel. So we will essentially try to create this, create the gameplay most honed for 3 to 4 player parties.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess like the more player, the more scheduling errors. So
Yeah, absolutely. More
we want
players,
some game
just
played, not postponed.
absolutely, absolutely.
All right. So I'm looking for other questions. Uh, we have a mini related question again. Is there any chance the player sets and minis could be considered for 2026 campaign instead of waiting for 2027? Uh, okay, that's an hard question. So, of course, we are going to be trying our best to do that, but at the same time, minis are one of the like hardest things to produce and ship
Yeah.
and create at the same time, as you can imagine. So it will be safe for us to say 2027, but please know that we are working for 2026.
Yeah, one of my pet peeves is to pair this with zines that you just give out to your players that explains the class that they want to play, build, build suggestions, item suggestions, and whatnot. So if we can pair that with the miniatures, I will feel really great. So we can have like very class specific miniatures that have that can have like arms, that arms and heads that you can like mix and match and whatnot.
Mhm.
That is something that we are working on. Hopefully as soon as possible, those will be out.
Also, like speaking of which, let's tie it to the spaceship combat questions that
Oh
we
yeah,
had.
oh yeah. We had a couple of spaceship combat and spaceship
Okay,
customization
so
features.
we know that everybody wants a spaceship combat in the like it's a sci-fi game. That's very understandable. But like I don't know if it's us or like if it's something that every studio should do. We are like we are spending so much time and headspace for the spaceship combat, which is gonna be something big on its own, right? So we want to do it justice. That's why like it's not in the already existing core book. uh, but at the same time it is something to put on to like a it can carry a new like I don't want to say core book, but let's say setting book right now for one of our upcoming releases on its own. So like we would love to do it justice and like put it on a book that is completely uh,
Built for
completely
it.
like new material and like new stuff to work with for the next upcoming releases.
Yeah, in my mind, just having a one massive core book that allows you to customize your ship,
Yeah, yeah.
give players like different stations to man, something like FTL, the video, the indie video game, would be would be my wet dream. For the current like the core book of Astra Arcanum, we will have a section detailing space travel and like very minor space combat. just so that you would have some resources to play something like that. But
Mhm.
on the future, and most likely our like next big expansion is going to be a fully modular, fully customizable spaceship combat with roles for players, potentially even minis that you can build your own spaceship from, like spaceship parts that you can combine and create like a 3D version of your spaceship. And just to tie into the spaceship question, people asked the most important question: mechs, mechas, dreadnoughts. Yeah,
Right, yeah, I mean,
I
we
love
know
them.
them, we love them.
Hell yeah.
Of course, they're gonna be like that. Of course, they are gonna be in the same realm with the spaceship questions. So uh, we would love to have them. Like I know some people find mechas and like dreadnoughts a bit unfunctional to say the least. But we are not like a sci-fi. We are not uh, creating a sci-fi settings that is like 100%
Realistic.
science accurate. Yeah, like that would be very that would be very I don't know, boring to me at least in a way, because we know it's already very hard to survive in there. Like we don't we don't need other fatal threats. But jokes aside, would like to do is like to make this narrative believable and fun at the same time. So
Yeah.
that's what we are building towards. So hell yeah for the max, shortly.
I put the once again the wound sheet on the screen just to simply show that like the idea behind wounds is that this character sheet section could be entirely modular. Instead of a human here, just pull it out and put a mech with its own like systems and whatnot that can be damaged with different attacks,
Yeah, yeah.
and boom, you have mechs. We do this with the best tier entries on this one. We will probably do something like that for the spaceship combat. So hell yeah. We have
All right.
like one important starter question. That's going to be a quick answer. Will space travel be limited to solar system? Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be limited to solar system.
For
Uh,
the core books takes place in the solar reach, the solar system, and the most preferred method of going around is through solar sails, the huge like sails that collect harness sunlight and just like accelerate with that, with with each faction controlling a massive like reflector field, so they create the tides of sunlight that allied ships can sail through. The so there is no faster than light travel yet.
mhm. And like to give like an idea of what we are thinking when we are doing those, we are like think about it in a way that like without the faster than light travel, it's gonna be impossible for humanity to like develop that scientific breakout and then go to other planets. So the solar reach is what we are working with right now.
Yes. Also, we have a very fun question that I think you would love answering. Are there any
All right.
references to history, historical cultures, sort of like Warhammer with different factions having themes based on
Mhm.
different cultures? Necrons being ancient Egyptians and whatnot.
All right, so it's again a bit tricky. What we're working with right now is like our working theory, and like one of our key factions in the game is called Inheritors. Those are mysterious characters that unified the humanity and the civilization together, and like started a new terraformed city on Mars. So Inheritors is a faction that proudly wears the humanity's heritage on their back and like praise it like nothing else. So uh, since those are the powers that rule the city right now, everything that is human is very very rewarded and praised. So they bear the humanity's heritage in like in a historical sense as well and the cultural sense as well. Very like they hold it very highly. So what we're doing right now is designing the city in their vision. So historical references and like cultural references are very prevalent in the buildings, in the official anything official that designed by inheritors are like adorned with like ornaments and like you can see a Shiva statue and a Poseidon statue next to each other because they are all coming from human heritage.
And
So
on top of that, there will be a
yeah.
lot of armigers who bear human insignia, like different human cultures, human insignias as their, uh, their battle marks and whatnot. So
Uh-huh.
once again, nodding slightly to 40k, each armiger cell will have its own like insignias and their own culture that they want to represent and whatnot, just like a Space Marine chapter. So there will be a lot of culturally motivated costumes and
Mhm.
coat of arms and whatnot, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah, and like also at the same time, the immigration from Earth happened in an instant. So before the coherency that inheritors achieved in the setting, there are arcs that populated with the same nation sometimes, and sometimes they are coming from just a single corporation. So there's definitely nation states existed at some point in the setting. So those are very culturally and like historically motivated as well.
Yep. More questions. While obviously out of scope for this campaign, are there future plans of different scales to play? For example, branch time mode where players take the role of factions and move against each other. This is a cool question. While I think we won't ever create a system where players role play as a faction, players will play as individuals. Once we start, well, once we establish the baseline for Astra Arcanum, we want players of high-level armiger bands to be one of the driving factors behind the story, like the plot's march forward. So there will definitely be power players among the players.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's if they ally with certain factions, move the setting forward, tip the balance of power, and so forth.
Right. All right. So uh, I guess that's all the questions that I have. Do
Uh-huh.
you have anything else that you noted somewhere else?
A couple of questions in the chat. Since this universe is extremely deadly, how accessible healing items and spells would be? I think that's a good question
Hmm.
simply because healing through spells is almost impossible. Spells
Yeah, yeah.
do more harm than good in Astra Arcanum. But
But
healing through items will be possible, and Vitalist class will be experts at playing the battlefield surgeon. Like they will be the, the people that you want when you're entering into a tough fight, right? Because
Mhm.
you can't just chug a healing pot and
Yeah, yeah.
he heal
Uh,
d6 damage. No, you really need somebody who knows how to operate on a dying body to save an armiger, to save your limbs, to
yeah, and they're very specific as well, right? So
yeah, yeah,
as you guys can see in the wound system in the quick start PDF, there are specific effects happening in specific thresholds, right?
yeah.
So, for example, if your lungs are collapsing instead of, I don't know, like if
Shallow
there's
breathing.
yeah, if there's like liquid in there, you need another item. But if they are collapsing, you need another item. So they need to be very specific. And
Yes.
of course, there's like there's gonna be like amount of only so much you can carry, right?
Yep.
So you need to be prepared. If you know what you're gonna be fighting against, that would be like a huge bonus. So being prepared for the specific situations are going to be very important. If you're going to be fighting against a monster that gives you a headache, essentially, your neural system healing will be from like a different source, rather than fighting like a very brute type enemy, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, healing items will have specific uses, and healing spells are almost non-existent. So take care of your medics, guys. Also, another
They're going to be
question.
more important than ever.
Can you tell us more about what the solo experience will be and how it connects or uses the currently offered materials? So we plan on having solo modes in future campaigns and whatnot. Not specifically for this one, but I know that there are a lot of solo players out there who appreciate the solo material. The idea is, even when you're playing a solo mode adventure, you would still be essentially creating, you will essentially be using the same core system from the core book with classes and builds and whatnot. But we will add a AI GM who will allow you to navigate that specific adventure, essentially.
Right.
And Jacob Rosenberg said, "Oh, I can absolutely see the construction of a massive laser array to be used in the Fractional Sea expansion to Alpha Centauri as a major plot point." Hell yeah.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is going to be. This is something that we want to build towards. Just a couple more very quick questions. Someone asked. Sorry, I forgot who asked. For like rules clarifications. I'm just gonna rapid fire through them to have essentially everything answered. Dice pool and determining outcomes. This is a question on skills. Essentially, how you roll for skills is if you just have to do it in the nick of time, you roll 1d20. If you have a couple of minutes, couple of tries, couple of trial and errors, you roll 2d20. Or if you have all the time in the world to handle that skill check, you roll a 3d20 with potential of, an help action or an item. So you roll all these d20s, add your modifiers, and just care about the highest roll. That's how skills function. Question about disadvantage and benefiting players. That is a new idea that we had. Let me just bring up the advantages and disadvantages section. So there will be a lot of times where you roll for where you roll with an advantage or where you roll with a disadvantage, and these do stack. So if I have two advantage ones, this means I have advantage two. Or if I have disadvantage 3 and advantage 2, this means I have disadvantage 1. How these operate is the benefiting player chooses what to reroll. Say that you're a mage who is on their dying breath and definitely you know, can't use a overcast. They may prefer to re-roll that overcast rather than re-rolling the success. So at that time, if you gave yourself advantage, you are the benefiting player. On the flip side, if somebody gave you a disadvantage, the guy who gave you the disadvantage is the benefiting player. So they may force you to re-roll that success instead of the overcast. So that even if they take more damage, it means that you will die. So that's how we operate the disadvantages and the benefiting players. Obviously, this will probably need a bit more explanation to be as clear as possible. I guess that's it.
All right. So if there's any other questions, we can answer those before we go, or any comments, any ideas. We would love to hear what you guys think. At the same time, I think our quick start PDF is a pretty good source
Yep.
in order to like get the gist of what's going on. Unfortunately, we don't have a quick adventure in there because that's something we care a lot. Like we just didn't want to put like something very basic in order to in order to like do you guys justice. We didn't put anything uninspired in there. But at the same time, like I encourage people to come up with like a quick like very basic sci-fi adventure. Maybe they homebrewed and try the system,
Yes,
because there's a lot of explanation, and there's a lot of systems explained very thoroughly in there to run a quick adventure. uh, and I really love what we did with the design and art as well in there. So kudos to our artists and designers.
absolutely. And thank you so much for all the love and support. Like, Astra is a brand new IP that, that rivals a lot of already existing sci-fi RPGs, and we already broke through 200K and moving towards all of our goals very fast. This couldn't have happened without you guys' support. So thank you so much for all the love and support. We're super proud of you guys, and we're
Also, we
very
are
happy.
the secret project on Kickstarter.
Yeah, yeah. Kickstarter also like put us on their main page yesterday, which was huge. Like we really didn't expect that to happen, but I guess what we see does resonate with people. What we create does resonate with people, and we are extremely thankful for that.
There is a small question: will the setting narration bits continue by
I got you.
Agata Kaya and Indoran Shaw?
She will
That's
be an important character, but she won't be the only
yeah,
narrator.
but yeah, they are not gonna be the only narrator. The narrators are gonna change, but you can expect to see him.
Yes, yes. All
All
right.
right, then thank you guys so much. That was very fun, and we will catch you in the next one.
Yes, and if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, and whatnot, Kickstarter comments is always a perfect place. Discord is always a great place. We are chronically online. Thank you so much for dropping by, and catch you in the next one.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye bye.